Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever it is for you on this beautiful August day. My name is Caitlin Francis, and this is the Caitlin Francis Show. I laughed so hard to myself the first time I listened to my friend Summer Yeager and her co host Joy, whose last name I don't know. Um, they have a podcast and it's excellent. It's called Shealogians, and you guys should look it up. And I'm going to link it in the notes because it's amazing. But I laughed so hard because one of my first podcast episodes that I recorded, I also used the phrase like "good afternoon, good morning," or "good morning, good afternoon, good evening," and I was all proud of myself because I thought it was so clever. And then I started listening to their podcast, and Summer says the same stuff, and so now it just feels like I'm copying her, which I'm not. So Summer, if you ever hear this, I'm sorry that I'm copying you, but I did think of it like apart from you. So I'm gonna say it sometimes because I didn't copy you. It just ended up being that way. As summer winds down and we head towards August, the end of August, the beginning of the school year, I'm just starting to process through all of the things that need to begin to happen for the school year to get started. A lot of logistics and things that you have to just plan ahead for. And as I was going through my plan for the school year and just making plans for holidays and trying to build our schedule when it comes to outside activities and all these kinds of things, talking to my mom about our plans and even just sharing a little bit on X about how I'm feeling like I'm failing my kids in certain areas. A very sweet lady that I've known for a while now on X, her name is Julie, and she's a homeschool mom of like 5 boys, and her boys are amazing and they've all gone and done this amazing stuff with their lives. And she wrote me the sweetest note under my post about feeling like I had failed my kids in a certain area. And I just wanted to talk about that today because it reminded me of something that I have said to other moms a lot, especially in my capacity as I wouldn't call myself a veteran homeschooler, but I guess kind of because I was homeschooled and now I'm going into my 9th year of homeschooling. So clearly I don't have all of the answers, but I've been doing this most of my life. So I I often use the same sort of things that Julie said to me to encourage the newer moms in our co-op that we have. We sort of have just like a support co-op. It's not a class-based co-op. And a lot of us get together every week just to support one another and to bring new moms in that are beginning their homeschool journey and helping to support them. And so I almost cried when Julie wrote this on my page because I have said this before to other people. And of course, I like knew this in my brain, but like having someone say it to me in such a sweet way was just really encouraging. So I'm going to read it and then we're going to talk about it. So essentially, I posted something about how I feel like I'm failing my kids in the area of music lessons because I took piano lessons for at least 12 years, maybe longer. And I taught lessons to other people's kids. Like it was just one family. It wasn't anything crazy, but I taught lessons for like a whole year after I graduated from high school. And that is one of the things that always falls through the cracks. Like I could totally be teaching all 4 of my kids piano easily. We have a piano. I can't afford outside lessons. And yet that is one of those things that just always falls through the cracks. There's other things that become more important. I don't know if I need to like revamp my schedule or what, but I was just sort of lamenting that like, man, I feel like this is a failure for me to not be able to pass this on to my kids. And this is what Julie wrote. She said, "This is the case of every homeschooling mom who takes on 100% of her kids' formation and education. If you had made the piano lessons a priority, something else would have fallen through the cracks to keep you feeling inferior. You really have to trust that the Lord, who knew the works he had planned for your child before the world began and knit your child together specifically to accomplish those works and chose your womb in which to do so, and trusting that child into your care, that same Lord also knit you together specifically for that particular task. The world is not going to be lacking in a piano virtuoso. I cannot say that word, virtuoso, because you dropped the ball. The Lord didn't give you a piano. Julie, you wrote this word twice. didn't give you a piano virtuoso. Why can I not pronounce that? To raise, because he's assigned them different works to the praise of his glorious grace. Now go walk in them, not someone else's. And she added like a little wink emoji. And I was so encouraged. I was so encouraged by this. After I had my fourth baby, I came to the realization that God gives each child to their specific mother for a specific reason. And I even remember like encouraging a bunch of my girlfriends at the time with that thought of like, man, we always feel so inadequate as mothers, but like we were given these specific children for a specific reason that maybe we don't know about, or maybe we'll never get to know about. But the Lord in his infinite wisdom gave them to us. So of course, holding this thought as a encouragement would require you to believe in a Lord that is both fully in control of every choice or everything that we do, and also gives us free will, which is like a whole nother thing. And I'm not even going to touch that. But the point is, it is such a blessing to my soul to be reminded by my fellow mom and fellow believer that of course the Lord knew which child to give me specifically. He had me be born from a certain parent and them be born from a certain parent, all the way up to my children now, who for whatever reason, the piano lessons might be slipping through the cracks, but other things are getting poured into their lives that they're going to need. And like, I played the piano for 12 years, but I'm not like a natural. So like, I know how to do it because it has rules and it has chords and it has like specific, but like, if I sit down to play, it's not a pretty thing. My sister is like little Miss Piano Genius, and she can just like do it by ear, and it's amazing. But I forgot my point. Okay, so my point is like, even though I had those piano lessons, I didn't become some piano prodigy. I can teach my kids to sing though, and I can teach them other things. I have a great appreciation for classical music, which is what classically like 12 years of classical piano gives you. So something in there is going to be important for my kids somewhere. But maybe I'm never going to know what it is. And that is okay. I have to, like Julie said, what did she say? He's assigned them different works to the praise of his glorious grace. Now go walk in them, not in someone else's works. And that I think is a huge, huge, huge thing that we as moms are often burdened with, is that we look at other moms around us, or we look at other people's kids. And especially me as a homeschooler, I do this often. I think to myself, oh man, well, my kids aren't doing that. Maybe my kids need to be doing that. Oh man, well, my daughter's not already crocheting things and selling them online. Like maybe she's behind. Oh, my son is not interested in starting his own business at 13. Like that must mean that I'm not doing something right, or I'm not giving him the things that I need to give him. Or, oh man, I see that other mom with her like super good. Like I have some moms who are just, they're so super good at being spontaneous, like some friends being spontaneous and just like doing all these really fun, adventurous things. And I am not always that mom. And I just feel like, oh man, I'm not doing the best thing for my kids because other moms are doing other things. And I think that we all do that across the board, whether we're homeschooling or not. And I just want to remind us and encourage us, and myself included, going forward for this school year and maybe just this semester, to remind us that like the Lord God gave each of us our children for a specific reason. And he gave them, like he has the works already planned for them that they're going to do. He had the works planned for me. He has the works planned for you. And part of that work at this moment in my life is organizing their education and doing what I think is the best thing for them and being diligent to see that through. And for whatever reason, that's not piano lessons right now. And like, I have to let that go. And maybe we can shove piano lessons in. Like, I'm not saying that we don't have to put stuff in just because it hasn't been getting in. Like, I'm going to definitely try to do a little bit of that as this semester goes on, especially my daughter's really into it. So we might as well do it. But all that to say, I just wanted to remind you, as you're moving into this school year, whether it's your first year homeschooling or your 15th year, or you're not homeschooling and you're supervising your kids' education from in a different environment than that, whether you just have young kids and you're like stuck in those baby years where nobody seems to be sleeping and you can't imagine why the Lord would have called you to do this kind of a thing. God gave you your specific kid on purpose. He chose you to be your child's mother. And no matter how inadequate we feel, He can fill in those gaps for you. And I just want to encourage you, if you have a relationship with the Lord or if you don't, that you just pray. God is close to all who pray to Him. He would love to have a personal relationship with you, and He would love to help you fill in those gaps with peace and patience and the knowledge that He's there to help you whenever you ask Him for it. And I'm not promising some like physical help, but I'm promising like mental peace and stability in your mothering if you call to the Lord and ask Him to remind you that you are here for a reason and your child is here for a reason, and you are the best mother for that child. Speaking of, and just a final thought in conclusion, as we're talking about, or we're thinking about going into a new school year and all of the planning and logistics and diligence that entails, I just wanted to remind all of us, including myself, that if the Lord has called you to homeschool and you feel that that is what you're supposed to be doing for your kids, just know that you can do it. It's fine. You've got this. I don't want to sound like some like rando self-help person with like all these catchphrases, but like, you can do this. It is so easy in this particular time of our lives to find easy and thorough resources for homeschooling your kids. And if you're feeling like there's just no way you can possibly be enough for them, you can be enough for them. God gave them to you. If He's asking you to homeschool them, then He will help you figure out how to do that. Now, part of this is your job. You are going to have to keep yourself accountable. You are responsible for their education, and that comes with a big burden. Like, please don't hear me saying that this is like some easy peasy thing because it's not. The choice to homeschool should not be taken lightly, but also it should not be, it shouldn't overwhelm you. It will overwhelm you, but don't let it overwhelm you. Another thing that I say often that I swear I did not pick up from somebody else. I thought of this myself. And then someone was like, "Oh, you must have read that book." And I was like, "No, I did not know that book existed." But I like to say to my kids and to myself, like, hard does not equal bad. You can do hard things and you should do hard things. And just because it's hard doesn't mean that it's bad. And I know there's like a whole book out there, and I apologize to the author because I did not steal that from her. I thought of it myself. So I thought of it myself. I thought of it separate from her. So anyway, hard does not equal bad. Just because homeschooling is hard and it's a lot of work, it doesn't mean it's bad. And it also doesn't mean that you can't do it. So I just want to encourage you, you can do it. But you're in charge of you. And so you have to hold on to the diligence and the responsibility of keeping up with your child's education. If you need some help with that, please reach out in the comments and I will get in touch with you, because I love helping people get started and I want to be there for anyone who needs me, or anyone who wants to know what this looks like even more practically and more specifically to your lifestyle. Like I could sit here and give you all kinds of information, but like sometimes you need a more specific to your lifestyle thoughts about it. So I'd love to do that. If you want to reach out below in the comments, I will get in touch with you and we can talk like on email or something. But you're going to need your own diligence and you're going to need your own responsibility and you're going to need some accountability, whether that's from your husband, whether that's from a homeschool group of moms, whether that's from your own mom. And you have to be introspective enough and humble enough to ask somebody to keep you accountable. And I say this mostly because I currently am looking at the way I spend my time and realizing that I desperately need a little more structure and I need to be planning my days a little bit better so that we can be getting more of the things in than we've maybe previously been doing. And I think that's because my kids are getting older. Some of their stuff is getting harder. We're also more involved in activities as they get older. But I'm just realizing that even my personality is very much like get her done, don't complain, like just push forward type of a personality. But I've let myself get lazy. So this coming semester, I'm going to be making more of a plan to help keep myself accountable. And I'm going to be asking my husband to help me with that because I get lazy and he is always working hard. So anyway, you might need to ask your mom, you might need to ask a friend, you might need to ask your husband to just be keeping you accountable for getting your child's education in. On the other hand, please do not hear me say that some sort of intense, rigorous schedule is what your child needs for a good education. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that sometimes you need to keep yourself accountable and hold yourself to a high standard, and then it will be much easier to take on the task at hand of homeschooling. All that to say, let me and Miss Julie encourage you that you are the best mom for your kids. God knew what he was doing when he gave them to you, and he knew what he was doing when he put you at this time in history, in this specific country, in your specific town, in your specific marriage. Nothing happens by accident. The Lord is sovereign over all of the things that have happened to you, and he knew that you could do it where you were with the tools that you have available. So be encouraged and reach out if you need anything. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll talk to you guys soon.